Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be talking to an author whose book I have recently read and enjoyed. We'll be talking about that book in particular and about that author's journey. Do stay tuned. Today's guest is somebody I've been trying to get on the show for a while, and I'm really glad that I'll be talking to her today. Stay connected, it's going to be a really exciting episode. Okay, my guest is here. Let's wait for a few more people to join us. Hi, Nilshri. I'll wait for a few more people to join us before we can start the episode. Okay, so Megha is here already. Let me invite her. Hi, Megha. Did you receive my request or should I send it again? Can you let me know in the comments? Really excited for today's episode. Do stay connected. Okay, let me try and send another request.
Finally.
Yes, but as always, I can't see you.
Oh God.
Okay, so Nilshri is here. I'm just going to ask her to confirm. Nilshri, can you see both of us? If yes, we will start the episode.
Do you want me to send you a request?
Okay, they can see both of us. The audience can see both of us, so we'll continue. It's okay. I'm used to just doing it, seeing myself on the screen.
Me and
Okay,
myself is what you should say. Hi, Manali, and thank you so much, first of all, for having me.
welcome. Welcome. And as I was mentioning in my introduction, also, you are somebody I have been wanting to have on the show for a really long time, and I'm glad that it's finally happening.
Yes, yes. And my
Okay,
apologies for the same for not being able to make it earlier,
it's
but
okay. I can be very pushy when I want a particular guest on the show. So it's okay. So before we start, just give us a brief introduction about yourself.
okay. So hi, this is Megha Patni here, and I am a mother first, a homemaker, the new term homemaker, and obviously an author, a writer, a blogger, an artist, a chocolatier. Actually, I make chocolates also. I'm planning to come back again with them, and maybe you can call me someone who's beaming with ideas actually. So before marriage I was someone who was like always jumping up and down with ideas. So yes, that's me. I'm coming back to myself again. So that's me. Yeah, that's completely me, and I love creative stuff. I just give me anything, that's it. I just want to do it and I love to do it.
We have Shreya here, who I don't know. It's Shreya or Shreya S or
Shreya,
Shreyas.
Shreya.
Okay. Okay. So Shreya is saying hi to you.
Hi
Thank you, Shreya,
Shreya.
for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay. So you have written a few books, but this is the one that I have read.
Yes,
And
yes.
I am going to talk about my experience of reading the book. First of all, thank you for sending me this book all the way from India because I live in the Netherlands and we were trying to figure out how I can get my hands on this book. So thank you for sending me.
Anytime.
I do have one complaint though. You have not signed it. So for that, I
Oh
will
yeah.
have to meet you.
Please come to India soon. Please come.
So yeah, I would love to meet you too, and let's hope that when I'm in India, we can meet up.
Sure,
So
sure.
talking about my review of the book, I want to tell you thank you for writing this story, first of all, because such stories need to be told where women don't feel guilty about having, exploring relationships before deciding on whom to marry or whom to settle down with. Because we need such stories.
Yes,
And we need acceptance on the fact that it's okay for a woman to be confused about who's the right person for her.
true.
Reading this, I know, the first thing that I was able to recall was the recent episode of Coffee with Karan where Deepika Padukone was so open about, having a past. And she was saying that, yes, I was
Yes,
dating other people while I was dating Ranveer also. And she got so much criticism for that.
I know. Yeah.
And I was like, where are we? Are we really progressing?
No,
So
that's the
yeah.
reason even it pinched me a lot. Ranveer Singh flirting with so many women casually. He's known as a Casanovan, and he's like, oh wow, look at him. He's so
Yeah,
handsome
and
and he's
people
so lovable.
really admire that side of him.
Yeah, yeah. And whereas if Deepika does it, or she just casually said that, okay, I was open to relationships, she didn't mean that she was bloody, whatever, sleeping with everyone. She just meant to say that she was meeting people. It can be taken in that manner also. But
Nilsi, I know you have mistyped it, but I understood what you were saying there. Dear Zindagi. The kursi wala concept, yes. And that is such a good movie. And,
yeah,
yeah, that analogy that Shah Rukh Khan says, it's perfect. When we are trying to buy anything, we think so much and we try out so many things before deciding on something. And when it comes to the most important things, we are judged when we do that.
yes, yes, exactly.
So thank you for writing this book because such stories need to be told. And also, I like the ending a lot because it was not only unexpected, but it was even that was something that gives out a message
Yes.
that first of all you need to focus on yourself and what your heart really wants. Find out that first.
Yeah, yeah. Because
So,
I've seen this since ages, or even in my relatives or whatever, that iski shadi karwa do. She's become of
uh,
so and so age. She's come of this age, and she's become of age of 30. When will you get married? Why is it always pressurizing them that you need a man in your life to survive? And obviously that brings to the fact that in Lapata Ladies, that the older lady says that she's not old, sorry for her, but she, if you've seen the movie Lapata Ladies, so the one who's I forgot her name, the
Mai,
actress's name.
the one who plays the character of Mai, that's the one you are saying.
Yeah. She says that a woman doesn't need a man to, help her survive through the whole, whatever her lifetime, or even when she gets older enough, she can survive on her own. So I think, say, I mean, what big explanation do you need other than what she has mentioned, that she was living without anybody in her life?
Hmm.
Chaya Kadam, yes,
Yes,
yes.
Chaya Kadam. Yes. Thank you, Nilsi.
So, yeah, I mean, I think these sort of stories need to be made, to make people aware of the fact that if a woman is alone, she's not alone, or she's not a bichari, or she doesn't
Hmm.
need someone. She doesn't need a pillar. She is a pillar herself.
Exactly.
So,
Yes. Okay, so based on my reading of the book, and since I have known you for a while before we were able to do this, I have a few questions for you. Would you like to answer those for me first?
please go ahead.
Okay, so based on this, I want to ask you, was there somebody particularly focused on, or were you inspired by someone while writing the character of Meera, who's the protagonist of your story, of your book? And how important, according to you, are such stories to teach feminism or, spread societal views or bring about a change in the societal views? And conditioning about relationships can also be changed based on such stories. So, how important do you think it is to talk about such things out loud and without the fear of being judged?
Usually, see, I didn't want Meera Raichand, or for that matter, any protagonist in my book, to be perfect.
Hmm.
Um, Also, going somewhat based on the kind of person that I am. A
Hmm.
bit of goofy, a bit of, silly, or maybe, uh, being bubbly and all that. So I think I've mixed um, um, her characteristic traits, as you say, by looking around, or also by looking within my own, self, that, I am somewhat like this or whatever. So I wanted to portray her that way while tackling the point of feminism.
Hmm.
Now, feminism again is a very twisted
Hmm.
and, yeah, I don't know, it's like blown out of proportion word. Whenever someone says feminism, there are hundreds of women or men who jump up at the fact that no, you need to. Hello, Manali. I think Manali's video is stuck for me. Is it stuck for
Yes,
everyone, or it's just
yes. It got
okay?
stuck because I was getting an audio call.
Okay, okay,
I'm
no
so
problem.
sorry. Yeah, go on.
No, no. So the word feminism, as I said, is sometimes blown out of proportion,
Hmm.
and by anyone. I'm not saying just women particularly. So out of for the name or for the sake of feminism, people just keep on shouting out, "Oh, but women need to do this and women need to do that," without
Hmm.
knowing that
Hmm.
is it right, or does it serve its purpose, basically.
Hmm.
So I believe that when you want to write such subjects, now what you need to do is dark satirical humor, or dark
Hmm.
humor works without shouting out loud.
Hmm.
And I have always seen myself as someone who likes to write satirical, and
Hmm.
that's, I mean, if this, I think I kind of handled the subject very delicately. I didn't,
Hmm.
you know, be very bold enough to say what I wanted to say, maybe because it was
Hmm.
my debut, probably that's the reason. So, but yes, going forward, I would want to take up such subjects with a satirical humor, portraying, that how a woman, like how we discussed, initially, that she is strong. She doesn't need someone to, support on. She's a support herself.
Hmm.
So, yes, I mean, this is how I think we can tackle the scenario. Basically, is what my thing is. I
Yeah.
hope I've answered your question. I just feel that.
Yes, you have, and you have brought out the character of Mia, but I would love to see more such characters coming out of you because, as I said, I personally feel that it's important to write such stories. It's important to bring them out in any form that we can.
Actually, Manali, the thing is that before this book, there was an e-book that I had debuted with,
Hmm.
and it was named as And She Rises on juggernaut.in.
Okay.
Not many people know about this,
Okay.
but I am quite happy at the fact at how that book has turned out to be. Basically, I think it got shelved in my mind because I was trying to write them into a series, like
Okay.
And She Rises, an introduction, then after her marriage, And She Rises was the title. So if I had the opportunity to go ahead and complete the book, I think I will, would want to complete it and make it come into a paperback version. It had three parts. I mean, on my laptop, it has the other two parts are not published. The first part is published. So I think this was way back in 2017 or 2018 when I had written this book.
Okay.
So
Please,
not
I
many.
don't give up on that.
No,
That
no, I
I would.
won't.
Yeah, please.
I think I kind of came out with my very dry humor, not dry humor, but with my, as I said, the sarcastic side with
Hmm.
that book, basically.
Hmm.
So I think I did that justice, but I couldn't carry it on, and I don't know, somewhere it just tanked, or I kind of got discouraged,
Hmm.
and maybe the sort of appreciation or encouragement didn't come because
Okay.
obviously no proper marketing, and
Hmm.
as what the creative people lack, you can't market yourself, you can't talk for yourself. So
Yeah, that's a work. That's always going to be a work in progress for indie
yes,
authors, I feel.
precisely.
Okay, and please, this is my request to you here on the show that please don't give up on that, and we would love to read that story.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
Continue it, and please turn it into a book.
I will I will definitely. It's there on
Don't
Juggernaut, but I think only few of them, maybe you can say five, six handful of people kind of reviewed it, and they put
Hmm.
up the reviews on juggernaut.in. I was thinking maybe that was a new thing. Remember, I think maybe some five
Yeah,
or
yeah.
6 years back, something like, people used to be like, okay, if we don't want to go the traditional publishing way, maybe we
Hmm.
can just do it on Juggernaut.
Hmm.
When Notion and self publishing wasn't that famous as it is
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
so that was, yeah. But I'll definitely try to turn it into a book.
We already have one more person here who's going to push you to complete it. She has commented. Don't
Oh,
worry,
she,
much push ki zarurat
yeah, yeah, she is there since the day one. Since I, made that first phone call to Neil Shri, she is there, cheering and pushing ahead to, pursue those dreams. In fact, this book happened because of Neil Shri only. That's
No.
a yeah, knocked out of love. This story was supposed to be published on Kindle, pen to publish, if you know about this contest. So this
Hmm.
was supposed to happen in 2022, and apparently because this turned into a paperback version, their rule was that if it's
Yes.
in a paperback, they will not accept the
Yes.
entry. So,
Sukana is here. Hi, Sukana.
hi Sukena, and Tanvi also is there. We forgot to say hi.
Hi,
Yeah.
Tanvi. A few more people have joined. I think Lima was also there. Hi, Lima. Okay. Hi, everyone. Blanket hi to
Yes.
everyone.
You're my Betal, Shreya. Shreya is also another person who keeps pushing me. So, yeah, I'm thankful and I'm blessed to have so many support. And obviously, Manali, because of you, this is happening today. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm very happy to be one of those many PayPals for you. You please start working on it. Hi, Sakshi. Sakshi is also here. Hi, Sakshi. Thank you for joining. Okay, so coming to my next question for you. Let me just pull it up again. Okay, so you have your own platform, a website, I believe. Is it also a magazine like Authropod?
No, it's not a magazine. It's a blog based on parenting, based on women,
Hmm.
women-centric issues, and all that. So I write a mixture of parenting as well as
Hmm.
women-centric issues. A couple of them where I've written is where I felt strongly about today's day and age of education, the way children are treated in their school, the way teachers treat their children on, trying to
Hmm.
I mean, I think we've all seen Tare Zameen Par, but no one, everyone's like, yeah, yeah, he shouldn't have done that, and this is how we should treat our kids. But the moment the movie is over, you start
You go back to
thinking
your own
it's a
self.
race, and yeah, you want to just, bhagao, all
Hmm.
run and all, just go to the finishing line.
Hmm.
So a lot of comparisons, a lot of, see, because of COVID, there was an issue that a lot of parents are facing,
Hmm.
especially, I mean, everyone almost. So, sorry, you had a question, right, Manali?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's a,
go on. It's okay.
so that's the reason that Mama Drama kind of came up, because I wanted to talk about these issues as well as being there to cheer and support women.
Hmm.
There are a couple of interviews that I've done who are mothers also as well, and they
Hmm.
are. They're working as well, or they are entrepreneurs, or they are doing something on their own.
Okay.
So, which thing, the only issue I lag is I'm not consistent with the
Hmm.
website per se because of other commitments that I have at hand. Otherwise,
Okay.
if given an opportunity, definitely it can turn into an everyday blog where, I keep on writing about something or the other that is. You see, the moment you see an issue that is happening, something happened in the morning, oh, I'll write about it. But what
Hmm.
happens is it gets, at the back of your head and it gets flushed off.
Hmm.
So, which I cannot take out on paper these days. I mean,
Hmm.
that's the only minus point that I'm having right now. That makes me feel a bit sad also, that things that I wanted to write I can't write,
Hmm.
but when I know that I can express it very eloquently, I would say
Hmm.
so, but it's not happening. So
I
that's,
hope you are able to soon. So my question actually was that you have this on your own platform. You are a regular contributor to Arthropod and some other magazines like that, and you have been a part of anthologies also.
yes.
And so my question to you is, how has all this experience shaped your journey as a writer? How has it helped you to grow as a writer? And uh, would you like to share those experiences with us?
Yes. See, I never used to write poems. I never used. I never knew what anthology was about till I think Half Baked Beans publishing company used to come up with these short poem contests actually. And they had initially started off with writing, there was, I think there are literally different forms of poems. And I think I and Neelshri were discussing that, we never knew about that these forms do exist. Not just poem, there's other names also. I forgot about the names. I'm like the modern day Gajini. So don't ever ask me what the form is called.
Yeah, there are many different forms of poetry that you are trying.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So I wanted to try my hand on it. So I first went ahead and got myself published on the Half Baked Beans. I mean, I tried, but I didn't win at that point of time. But I think the second or the third time that I tried, I was under the top 30 best poems listed anthologies. So that was like what I'll tell you. I think it was to express in 50 words. That's it.
Okay.
So in 50 words, you're supposed to make the person sit up and say, "Oh, okay, is it?" So, and wonderful, submissions, Manali. Do go and have a look on Half Baked Beans Instagram. I think they're not active now as they were some 5-6 years back. But when I participated at that point of time, I was quite happy that, because see, I'm a person who likes to write long. I mean, I have a long form thing. I can't explain to you in very short, just 1 or 2 lines what I mean to say. So I was quite happy. I was like, wow, I can write in 50 words and I can make a person sit up and say, oh, okay, I didn't think of this, So, much of these entries were like, I was sitting by his side while he was taking his last breath. So just to tell you that she was sitting in the graveyard. So, I mean, this is, this is not the exact version, but this is how it gives you those goosebumps kind of moments. So yeah, my journey started from there, and after which I am a freelance writer that way. After marriage, since I was not supposed to work anywhere, I was sitting at home. I wrote articles on parenting. I wrote product descriptions. I have written on I've written kids stories basically. There was also another app known as Pot Boiler. Now they had come up with a concept that we have an app where every Friday you will get a new story. So that's how my children's story writing kicked off with Pihu the Penguin. And what happened was, even this is an interesting thing. What happened with me was those stories are supposed to be an app, and they make you sign a contract that you will not share it with anyone else, and it's not going to be printed anywhere. So I was like, okay, no problem. So they called me up and they said, hey, do you know that your app story is now asked by the preschoolers, like the primary, the school has asked for it to be in a print version. So I have the printed version of my first children's book also that I had written for them. So that's how, these small celebrations, maybe small for others, but it was big in a way for me as a homemaker
In
to.
no way this is small, Megha. Please.
But these sort of celebrations, when you get that sort of appreciation, when you're just thinking that you're known as a homemaker and just a mother, and after this, when you keep doing all this, so it gives you a sense of pride, a sense of identification, I guess. I believe that because every woman needs to have that identity, basically. So that's how I got to write. So these are the different styles of writing that I got myself into. Then product description is a completely different thing from how you write a story. So, and obviously I started from e-learning. I did a course in journalism. I forgot to tell you that when you asked me to give a brief description. I did my PG in journalism, and from there I started with an e-learning company. So now this e-learning company had a content writer. We had to write on, you will not believe it, on technical stuff like how does a water pump work, and how do you put up animations. And so this was for US and UK based clients. So we were supposed to write that, and that was like a different, completely different.
That's a very technical form of writing.
Yes. And so after which I was lucky enough to get myself into Jetwings, the Jet Airways in-flight magazine. Then I got into Times of India, Femina. CNBC. So that's how I started my. I mean, I worked and I've explored these, not genres I would say, but yeah, these mediums of writing, the print media. And print
Hmm.
media is a fab place to work. If someone's working in a magazine, Manali, I'll tell you, it's a beautiful place to work because the
Hmm.
way the whole month goes by in printing the magazine is so beautiful because you are involved in the designing also aspect as well. If you're a sub editor or a features
Hmm.
writer, you have to see to it. So yeah, from there, after I sat back home and I was a full-time homemaker, I was doing all these freelancing stuff. So I participated in a lot
Hmm.
of contests. Then Arthropod happened, and where Neil Sri did invite me to write blogs, and you're free to contribute towards the magazine. So that's how things happened in between. Before that, also way before that, I think Winnings 3 website happened with for me, where
Hmm.
I and another lady, we both kind of connected, and we said let's make up a website for women to cater for
Hmm.
them. So, but it didn't work out. She's handling the website now. But yeah, I had the chance, as Shreya has put up over here, that that was. I mean, I met Masaba Gupta. I interviewed her when she came into Indore. So this is me. I mean, I kind of, you ask me anything. I think apart from academic and technical writing, I think I've done all these, and they are different. They are
Hmm.
challenging in their own way, because you have to, at the end of the day, you have to make them appealing, be it
Hmm.
a book, be it any content, be it a blog, be it a product description that you have to put out up there. So
True.
all these and poems basically and anthologies. There are three of them that I did with Neil Sri. So yes, she working with her also gave me a lot of opportunity to write things that I haven't written. Obviously, in rhyme and rapture, my poems are quite long. So again, I can't write things in a small. I can't write small. I mean, I can't write just a paragraph or something.
Hmm.
So it is a bit difficult for me to kind of. So
So,
there, this is
an
my.
add-on question to this: how has all this experience and the network that you have created because of these experience, how has that come in your support as a writer?
Very much in support because people who have read me, read my stuff, and have known me, have always wanted to tell me that please go ahead with this and please continue what you're doing. I mean, I'll just give you a small anecdote about last Sunday where you have these parties where, I mean, it was just a random, not random, it was a casual meetup, get
Hmm.
together where husbands, friends, and their wives were meeting like after a long time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, as I stay in Indore, here it's quite traditional.
Hmm.
Yet, yes, people are trying to be, something like a Mumbaikar or whatever. Now, people are,
Hmm.
they're realizing, okay, but women have, I mean, your women have come up to me telling me that, why have you stopped writing? Please continue writing. Please
Hmm.
continue to do what you are doing. So that gives you a boost. I mean, and anywhere I go, the first question is, okay, we've been following you on Instagram. You have been doing
Oh
this.
wow. Hmm.
So, I mean, I was like, तुमने I mean, like, have you actually literally seen what I'm doing? For some because I am not that active on Instagram,
Hmm.
sometimes I feel that nobody knows that I do exist, or for that matter. I know I'm exaggerating it, but yeah. See, Instagram is something like which keeps you on the go. Like today,
Hmm.
if you're present, people know okay, you're doing this. But
Yes.
something that's been posted 3 months or 6 months back, still people remember because because of that is a big thing.
Yes.
So, and I mean, I did get the opportunity to be at a lit fest, Indore Literature Fest over here after this book was published.
Hmm.
So a lot of people know that yeah, I was a speaker at Indore Literature Fest and all that. So um, yeah, this is what has my experience has been.
Hmm.
Support has been immense actually. I know that people when they meet me after a long time, when they tell you that okay, you're doing a good job and you're
Hmm.
quite talented enough, is I think sort of makes you happy and brings a smile to your face. Makes you want to keep on going on. That's it.
Okay. Wow, that's lovely. Thank you for sharing your entire professional journey with us because it is important for people to listen, and it's also motivating and inspiring for those who are listening and might just be starting out.
Yeah.
Because in today's days, day and age, I feel that people want instant gratification, instant success. मैंने किया है तो अभी मुझे appreciation मिलना चाहिए.
हाँ
What
हाँ
you said that about you having this different kind of experiences in writing, and then what you just said that something you had written 3 months ago or a long time back, people are reading that also and coming back to you. So that is also important to tell people that likho, but the appreciation is not going to come right away.
yeah
It might come years later.
yeah. Like how they say, remember, people don't will not remember the materialistic things, but they will remember the good feeling that you
Yeah.
gave them. I think writing is that sort of thing. Like how we
Yeah,
still remember,
exactly.
like I grew up reading Sidney
Mm,
Sheldon, Robert Ludlum,
mm, mm,
Arthur
mm.
Haley. So I think that's how you, John Grisham for that matter. And from where did I get the reading habit? From my father. He keeps on
Mm,
recommending it. So this is how I think writing makes you feel. Like
mm.
even if I write something for my parents, or if there's a small message, they feel that your messages makes someone special. I mean, my cousins say that we can't write as you do, and I was like, अब मैं लिख ही नहीं पा रही हूँ वो जो लिख सकती थी वो मैं अब नहीं लिख पा रही हूँ. So yeah, I mean, ठीक है, it's good, people remember you. I mean, I think that is more than enough. क्या
Yeah,
चाहिए और kind of thing.
exactly.
So
And Nilshi is also saying that little acknowledgement and appreciation goes a long way.
yeah.
It does. नाम गुम जाएगा मेरे वर्ड ही
Yes.
मेरी पहचान है for Megha.
Mainstream. Yeah.
Okay, so that brings me to the end of my questions that I had for you. You have also read my latest book. The floor is
Yes.
yours.
First of all, okay, now I'm happy and I'm glad to kind of introduce Manali as Bollywood. I think you should be a Bollywood writer, specifically for Yash Chopra, I would say. Because the first book that I read about you was Love Triangle. And also brings me to mention that you're like the Indian Colin Hoover, except that you write the subtle part. If you've read Colin Hoover's It Ends With Us, I mean, she has this, but she has gone, I think she would say, talk about the reality. You also talk about reality, but the way that you express your emotions, the small things, like they touched each other's, that their fingers brushed against each other, and yet those emotions I mean, brilliant. I mean, I think I
Thank
found
you.
that beautiful, actually, because you remember your maybe courtship days, and you know it kind of makes you dream, I would say that.
Oh, thank you.
Your
My heart is so full right now. Thank
and
you
which
so much.
and your Bollywood songs in between, that is like a masala, like chai pe wo biscuit khana kind of thick parle ji dhubo ke, like, yeah, this is what.
Oh,
So I read your Love Triangle, thanks to Arthropod, once again. Then Love and Melodrama again, and
again,
then
thanks to Author Yes, thank you, Author again.
and, and a coincidence that I mean, I mean, I'm getting your books back to back. So and then obviously the third hat trick banaya humne to heartstrings and harmonies se. So, so I mean, I loved each and every, I would say, stories of yours, especially in the romance section.
Thank you.
Also in the friendships section, I mean, I kind of loved all the stories that you put together. And your songs, कैसे सोच लेते हो आप यार songs को? I remember playing Antakshari, and I'm like, I can't remember the whole song completely, and you can bring out songs in situations which is like, wow. I mean,
Thank you so much.
so
I'm
that
just
brings
going to show the cover to the audience.
yes,
So this is the book that we are talking about, Heartstrings and
yes.
Harmonies. Megha has read it recently, and it's my latest book. It has 29 short stories that are inspired from Bollywood songs.
Complete Bollywood hai. So no, which brings me, which intrigues me also a lot. All your books have always been crafted, as I said, always crafted love as this everlasting and a passionate bond. But considering the kind of generation that is upcoming, the Gen Z
Hmm.
per se, is all about being competitive. They judge the book by the cover, and
Hmm.
almost everything is AI driven. I mean, like how the Shahid Kapoor Kriti Sanon's movie was, like even she was a complete AI driven robot basically.
Hmm.
So, do you think that old school love exists? And is there anything inspirational that we can do to make them see beyond beauty and riches? Obviously, coinciding with the fact Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant's wedding happening, it has to be. So,
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
वो
उसके
रह गए
बारे में
थे तो
जितना
वो दिखाया, but
कम
please.
कम बात करें उतना अच्छा है, because they are already getting a lot of footage.
नहीं आप आपके बारे में बात करिए. How will we teach the generation of today that love is exploration of feelings and not just you know on
Uh,
the face.
so मुझे लगता है कि of course, reading is one of the sources through which we can spread the message of love being like an eternal thing in our lives, right from the time we are born to the time that we pass away. Love is the only thing that that's a constant in our
Yeah,
lives, right from our parents to our extended family, then friends, and then the person that we get married to, or the person who we decide to spend our life with. Let's not say get married, because आजकल तो लोग ऐसे भी साथ में रहते हैं as a partner, so that is also all right. But there is love there also. And then if you have your own children, that is also a different kind of love. So in your relationships all throughout your life, not just with human beings, some people also have a loving relationship with their pets or any
yeah.
animals. So that's the kind of thing that makes it possible for us to go from one day to another. So it is not something that you can ignore, or you can say that it doesn't exist, because it does. It exists in different forms. You might say that you don't believe in love, but that's one kind of love that you might not believe in.
Hmm.
That is the romantic kind of
Yeah,
love.
yeah. True.
There are other forms of love. You always have your family and friends who you cannot always say, "Hey, my parents don't love me or my
Yeah,
friends don't love me."
yeah.
There is at least one person out there who you might not be romantically involved with, but they care for you.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
always
that's
going to
true.
be there.
Yeah, true, true.
And about the Gen Z thing, मुझे लगता है old school charm वापस आ रहा है थोड़ा बहुत, because people are very attracted to things like letter writing and all of that. I'm seeing a trend
Okay.
rising in the things that we had forgotten. So there is hope.
There is hope, yes, but I hope it comes back. Obviously, with your writing, it will come back with more and more people reading your books. They would want to believe that yeah, there is something like this, because these are the anecdotes that you sit and share with your relatives or with your
Yes.
loved ones. That this is what we, apart from just being there socially active or on Instagram just for that sake. I don't think love should be restricted till there only. So
I
I
I don't know whether the generation is doing it for the Instagram charm of it, but I do see an increased trend in uh, physical writing, which
okay.
makes me very happy. As I mentioned, that letter writing is something that people are getting back to, which makes me very happy.
True.
And I also see that people are attracted to other forms of writing, like journaling and all that.
Yeah.
So that's also there. So maybe we can hope for something to improve, some old world charm to come back.
It will, and I hope, I'm hoping for the same, because it will, in some way or the other, when people realize, yes, it will happen. Not it will happen. It's happening. I think there are some couples who are that way, but maybe not like those Romeo Juliet,
Yeah.
Heer Ranja types, where
वो तो बहुत ही बेकार एग्जाम्पल्स है वैसे भी. They lied.
Ram Leela had happened. So,
Romeo Juliet is the worst romantic example of all times. Like they were teenagers and they decided to kill themselves. वो बहुत ही बेकार है यार.
तो वो तो रामलीला में किया था रणवीर सिंह और दीपिका पादुकोण ने, which I was like, why should they die? Yeah, like ठीक है, everyone's coming back to know, but why should they kill themselves?
Yeah.
So I mean, which brings me to the next question related to this only. That I've read 3 of your books, and you have been consistent with your writing style. Like the moment we pick it up, and if you don't give us a name, also the author name, we know from the writing style that it's you. so, so be it short stories, you've written a novel and you've written a poem also. So, is there a secret ingredient to this consistent style of writing? How do you maintain the same consistency? And apart from the romance and love genre, is there any genre you wish to explore?
I really want to explore thrillers. And I have done a bit of it in two stories in this book, and I really want to explore that side a bit more.
Okay, okay,
There
full
are
on like.
two stories here where I touch upon the thriller element. One of them was the one that I wrote for the Arthropod Halloween contest, where we see a bit of horror. And there is one more story where a couple is, visiting a bed and breakfast where they are there to celebrate an anniversary, and there
Yeah.
is a thoda spooky element there.
No, so when are we going to see you releasing, publishing your next book? Is what also.
There is one more planned for this year, but in the beginning of 2025, you will see the book three of Love Trials coming
Love.
out,
Okay, okay. But how
where
do you know
we'll see.
seriously? How do you maintain that consistency even in the love? This the heartstrings and harmonies book that I read. You come to know because I've read your love triangle. I've read your love and melodrama. Apart from that, I would want to explore the other books as well. But this is no style to maintain that style. Na, it is a bit challenging. Is as a writer is what I feel without breaking without spoiling that whole way of telling a story basically.
I think it comes with years of reading experience. I think
Okay.
mostly it comes out of years of reading experience, and I मुझे मैंने काउंट नहीं रखा है because it is only recently for the past 5-6 years that I've started maintaining a record of the number of books that I'm reading. But I had already read many books before that, so I don't know what the count is. But in the past 4-5 years only, I've read more than 500 books. So lifetime में तो I think more than 1,000 हो गया होगा. So you can imagine.
No, but all the best with that, Manali. सही जा रहे हो आप.
Thank you. So I think reading and having a hobby that keeps you creatively active. I
Yeah.
think that's a very important part to keeping yourself also creative outlet. Your creative outlet also motivated.
True. True.
So that's one thing I think
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
kept me motivated and consistent in my own writing.
Okay. Okay. No, that's. I mean, I actually loved it. The songs part I loved the best.
Thank you so much.
I have
Okay, so you also like to read out from my book?
Yes, definitely. One of my favorite stories that because I keep on remembering this one of the story. My heart has started to love you, which gave me that what I mean. Like what did you say? Kind of वो serial वाला क्या 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 kind of moment.
Okay.
But I'm trying to remember the song which you've written. So okay, the
It's
story starts with
लगन लगी तुमसे मन की लगन from
वो आजा आजा वो मेरी जान मेरे दिल का जहां मांगे तेरी खबर ढूंढे तेरा निशान आजा मेरी जाने I mean, I'm trying to actually hum it on my in my mind but
it's
you
like
know
this. आ जाओ मेरी
oh
जान.
okay okay yeah. You have a lovely audio book, Manali, by the way. So,
Thank
okay.
you.
So I start reading.
Yeah.
It says, eyes closed, he was humming the song softly, lost in the magic of its lyrics, when he felt a soft tap on his shoulder. Will it be coffee with 2 sugars, Mr. Aditya Ahuja? He nodded, eyebrows shooting up in curiosity. Do they train the airline staff to memorize the passengers' names too these days? He wondered. The doe eyed, fair complexioned attendant proudly gauged his inquisitiveness. Sorry. But instead of curbing it, she took it up a notch. Mr. Ahuja, I also know which school you passed out from and your favorite movie. I'm pretty sure that I can predict the song you were listening to right now. Oh, and I can make a bowl of Maggi noodles with the precise amount of gravy you prefer. Aditya's mouth was left hanging open. What is this sorcery? Is this some voodoo plus AI combination I haven't got a memo on? He almost blurted out his thoughts this time. but was stopped short as the hostess handed him his coffee and the standard snack. Her tag read Shreya Bakshi. Quickly, he jogged his memory, but nobody named Shreya came up in his mind. Before he could get his bearings, the woman had already moved along the aisle to the next passenger. Sure, she was pretty, and the face did look oddly familiar, but he had never known a Shreya in his life as far as he could remember. The rest of the flight, he kept thinking about this eerie encounter, trying to place Shreya Bakshi's face to all the women he knew, right from the ones he had studied or worked with to the ones he had dated even briefly. But it was all in vain. When it was time to deboard, he deliberately took his time, making sure he was the one of the last ones out. Miss Shreya had probably anticipated this too. Before he could engage with her, she handed him a business card and wished him a good day. Like most cards, this one too bore her name, designation, and professional contact details. He turned it over and suddenly felt the air around him whistling loudly. This I think you will sing. Gali 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 goom dil tujhe ढूंढने
ढूंढे गली गली घूमे
दिल
दिल
तुझे
तुझे ढूंढे
गली
तेरे बिन तरसे
तरसे
नैन.
नयन and beneath the lyrics in smaller handwriting, a name had been written inside a friendship band doodle, Shreyas Bakshi. And I repeat Shreyas Bakshi. And I was like, what? Okay. A flashback from 13 years ago, the school playground. A group of lads besieging a boy from their class. A boy who was often cornered, bullied, and teased for being soft. A boy who had always been kind to him. A boy who had always seemed lost. A boy he had stood up for that day and on many occasions after that. A boy he'd since become friends, since become best friends with. A boy whose music interests had been shockingly similar to his. A boy who had gone AWOL after school. Well done, Miss Shreya. Want to meet and catch up over coffee? Aditya smiled and typed in a message as he hailed a taxi and departed from the airport. So this story was inspired the word from transformation, representing the color grey for the Navratri festival. Again, first published as a part of a Navratri blog hop that was hosted by Arthropod and Unicorn. This like
Yes.
made me like, wow, it's a
Thank you.
beautiful one.
Thank you for reading out that story because that was one of the first. No, this was only the second time that I was trying a story, right, representing the community. That's that requires more representation, I think.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So yeah, it was a very special story for me also, and I'm glad you picked that. And I was afraid of the way it might be received because I don't have experience of.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The
we,
trans.
we, we don't have first experience of
It's
living
like
a
what
life like that.
we've seen and what we've read or
Yeah,
not experience,
and
but what we've heard
what
from people
we have
about.
seen and heard, that's the only experience we can draw from.
Yeah, yeah. True.
And that's so many things that can go wrong with such kind of an experience.
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you so much for reading that out.
You're welcome.
We
I
had
enjoyed reading
hearts,
this book.
we had hearts and smiley faces coming in all throughout the reading of that story. So thank you so much for that lovely reception, everyone. Okay, so now we move on to my favorite part of the show, which is the rapid fire round. So
Yes.
how we do it with me, guys? We'll do it back and forth. One question I will ask, one question you ask. Okay.
Okay. So you start.
So yes, yes. A second. So my first question to you is, if you had half an hour to kill and you could do anything besides reading or writing, what would you do?
I would paint. I would draw. I would draw mandala. A mandala, sorry, or Zentangles.
Uh, yeah, that is very, very relaxing, I must
It
say.
is.
Yes.
It is newfound love after COVID of mine.
Yeah. For me, it has been just a year, a little over a year, but I love it. I don't draw it, I only color them, but even the coloring part is very,
It's
very deep.
therapeutic, actually, to be precise. It's like a therapy. It's like
Yeah,
a therapy.
it's
Yeah,
therapeutic. Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Your
If
turn.
you were in a situation where you were supposed to choose between friendship, love, and hope, what would you choose and why?
I would choose hope because hope के साथ बाकी दो आ ही जाते हैं.
Wow. Brilliant answer. Okay.
Because hope brings in everything, yeah, you know. So,
Yeah. True. Very true.
okay. My next question to you is: if you could be any fictional character, if you could be any fictional character for a day, or if you get a chance to spend a day with a fictional character, who would it be and why?
It would be Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. I want to meet Mr.
Okay.
Darcy.
Okay. And if you could spend a day with a character, so that would be obviously Mr. Darcy then.
Yes. I was like this when we used to be in college, and that was our in literature, that was the book that we were supposed to read. When we were
Hmm.
shown the movie for the first time,
Hmm.
almost all of us girls were like this only, like, oh my god, let us. I mean, I know you can't see me, but that's
Yeah,
my face, like,
I can imagine the expression. Yes.
अरे हाय मिस्टर डार्सी जैसे कोई मिल जाए.
Amazing.
So,
Yeah, and that was one of the original characters. आजकल वो बहुत trend चल रहा है ना, men written by women. That was one of the original characters like that.
yeah, no, very true. Actually, he was snobbish in the start, but so there's something that pulls you. It's attractive about him that when he's trying to, trying to act snobbish, yet he has a soft heart. I think that is what is more, I think, attractive
Hmm.
in a man, basically,
Hmm.
rather than he, just being, hey, नाम तो सुना होगा, हम मिले थे. That they're just cheesy lines. So,
Yes.
so no, and
नाम तो सुना होगा.
okay,
Oh, I
so
love
how do
those.
you
Yes.
tackle writer's block, Manali?
यार मुझे ना ये कंसेप्ट समझ में नहीं आता बिकॉज नहीं होता है मुझसे. आई हैव अ मूड लाइक माई राइटर्स ब्लॉक
देवी
इज
आपकी
वेरी.
करण किधर है?
No, I will tell you what my writer's block is. My writer's block is my mood.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a lack of motivation. मुझे लिखना नहीं है इसलिए मैं नहीं लिख रही हूँ. That's the kind
वो
of thing that I
उल्टा
have.
है, रिवर्स में है आप.
Yeah.
No, but I do face it at most of the time. So what I do is I either will watch a short movie if I get the time, series ho या फिर read a book or something to just kickstart. Though it's not
So
for a long time, but hey,
Ma,
writer's block.
for me, it's a self motivation technique where I do the same things. I will either watch 1 or 2 episodes of the series that I'm following. I will read. Reading is the biggest motivation for me.
Yeah.
Or I will do some other activity, some other creative activity like coloring, probably. That always
True.
brings me back to the mood of writing.
Yeah, coloring and drawing does.
Yeah. Okay. So my next question is uh, texting or calling. Why?
I think calling, because it
Okay.
solves or it gets rid of the misunderstanding that you usually would have in a
Hmm.
text. I've seen this thing that happens. If you say, "Ruk ja, abhi main," I'll do this. Like usually when you
Hmm.
talk in Hindi or in English, like okay, I'm calling. Okay, I'm calling. Like I'm talking.
Hmm.
I'm discussing. So you feel that person is trying to be rude to you, whereas that person is just typed to you out of maybe he or she was in a hurry,
Hmm.
or they were so. So and see, all the time maybe you're not texting it to your bestest friend or your closest friend, but maybe a call is the best way to also give that homely feeling, that
Hmm.
feeling of I'm there for you.
Hmm.
A voice, as it says, that hello, a voice, again, kind of gives you that comfort instead of just maybe just a text. I think a call just gives you a nice
Hmm.
warm feeling.
Okay. Ah,
Oh,
we are opposite in this then.
okay, you
I
like
would.
texting.
I'm a texter, or I will send a voice note.
Ah, okay. You're the Gen Z, maybe this generation's person actually. आप इस generation क्या? मैं वो old school types को call करना ही है. Except for people who might get tired of listening to me babbling away. So, which sometimes if I'm
Okay.
not in the mood, I'll not be able to babble much. But ठीक है.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so when you enter a room, which song do you think should be playing that will suit you and vibes with your personality?
Oh my god, this changes every day.
At the moment you entered, tang, 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 tang. What?
There's so many songs. So many.
The recent
But
one?
I think the one that I have always related to the most is this song from Veer Zara, which is
Oh wow.
picturized on Preeti Zinta. It's हम तो भाई जैसे हैं वैसे रहेंगे.
Yes.
I have
All the songs
related
are very good of
max.
Zara.
Yeah,
So
yeah. All the songs are really good. That's true.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. My next question to you is if Mira's life had a theme song, what would be it and why?
एक लड़की भीगी भागी सी
Oh,
मिली एक
nice.
अजनबी से कोई आगे ना पीछे तुम भी
तुम
कहो
ही कहोगे कोई बात yes. Nice. ये नीलश्री has commented जरा देखो कौन आ गया है. A
गाइस
guy keep teasing me with this song. I replied बहुत ही खतरनाक
या
है.
यू शुड गिव इट बैक नीलश्री सुन के
अरे
मतलब
इससे मुझे भी याद आया. आई वॉज ऑल्सो बिकॉज आई एम अ नाइट आउल. बचपन से ही मतलब टीनेज में तो बढ़ गया था और फिर गया ही नहीं कभी वो नाइट आउल वाला फेज. आई शोड अप विथ पफी आईज वन डे ड्यूरिंग आवर कॉलेज एंड वो हो गया शुरू. आंखें देखी ही नहीं की. गोरी तेरी आंखें कहे रात भर सोई नहीं.
oh wow you had an interesting college life
Okay. So your
so my question to you is your next book will be on
my next will be a poetry book because I have
okay I think she's got a call again maybe
exam वाले मुझे छोड़ नहीं रहे आज.
आपका स्टक हो
Yes. Okay. Am I visible now?
yes
Am I
yes
back?
you're visible yes yes
Yeah. So the spam people are not leaving me today. Team call आ गए already.
no, we were talking about your next book which that will be
Yes.
on
Uh, so I have this goal for the past couple of years now that I will bring out at least two books a year, and one of them would be
wow
a poetry book. And one book is already out, short stories to हो गई है, so the next one will be poetry now.
wow all the best for that yeah and थोड़ा हमको
Thank
भी
you.
आपकी एनर्जी पास कर दो every year even we'll come up with books with even more strong protagonists
अच्छा, so Nilshri is dedicating that song to me. जरा देखो कौन आ गया. जरा देखो कौन आ गया. Okay.
wow
Okay. My last question to you is, what's the most bizarre thing that you have observed as a dating or relationship trend or behavior?
I don't know if you've heard about this, but I think when I was a teenager or maybe in my 20s, I obviously spent my teen years in Mumbai. I
Hmm.
mean, at my college and my I worked over there and whatever. So I've seen this for the first time. I think after that the movie also was been made. If you remember, Ajnabi was a movie which was made. Akshay Kumar, Bobby Deol's yes exchange of wives, and I have some of our I've heard these stories from my mom's relatives or neighbors that they actually when they're sitting on the round table they actually put the keys and the person who picks up whatever keys the wives will be spending time with them and I always thought it was like a maybe a
Hmm.
मन गणत जो बोलते हैं ना कहानी बनाना
Hmm.
kind of things
Hmm.
but there are these things that are happening in high society level I don't know if it's
Yeah.
existing must be existing even
It
now also maybe
does. Yeah, I've heard about this too. In fact, not only in metro cities, I've heard this happening in tier two cities in India also. So I was quite shocked by
yeah
when I learned that.
I was like why marry then yeah I mean just without getting married just enjoy with everyone if you want to
Yeah.
so
आजकल तो वैसे भी polyamorous काफी चल रहा है.
yeah a lot of things are happening which is like completely out of the mind so and
Yeah,
which is not in
and
your
some things that
imagination
we
my
would not have
imagination
fathomed. Some things we would not have fathomed कि अपनी लाइफ टाइम में देखने मिलेगा वो सब देखने मिल रहा है.
true no, no obviously obviously Even Ilshi is leaving, it seems.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
Nilshi. Thank you for joining.
bye.
अच्छा, बिग बॉस
Ah.
बिग बॉस देखने जा रहे हो?
Okay, my last question to you is define yourself. Again, I'm coming to the same thing as a better author, poet, or a blogger because I've seen your blog. Like, you've been writing even till date. You're still writing on that.
Yes, yes, I do have a very active blog. Out of the three, I would say a poet because poet वाला feature दोनों बाकी दोनों में आ ही जाता है as an author and as a blogger. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay,
so
okay.
yes, the poet, and that's how my writing journey began. I began as a poet, and I hope to continue being a poet for as long as I can write. So
Okay, okay.
okay, so yes, Neil Shri has said that she's going to pick up her mother.
Mother. Okay, okay.
Do we have any other questions or comments that we have not addressed? We'll just look at those first. I don't think so. I
No.
think we addressed them as and when they came. Okay, so that's it, Megha. I think time to wrap up
Yes,
our episode. Thank you
yes.
so much for finally agreeing to this, and I'm so happy that our stars aligned. I would like to call this as our stars aligning because our stars
Yeah.
were just not aligning for the
Just,
past 1 year.
yeah, yeah, true. Completely. I agree with you. And thank you for having me and for giving me this opportunity to showcase myself
Always.
actually and the book.
An absolute pleasure, and the episode turned out just as I expected, even better
Yeah.
because there were no glitches
Yes.
as such. So,
Yeah.
yes, thank you so much.
And
And I hope to do this again soon. So, please write another
I
book
will
as soon as possible.
and you too are waiting for your next book also as well. Keep that Bollywood
Definitely.
romantic spirit alive. And I love your Insta stories with your husband and the kind of things that you do. It's inspiring.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
So, thank you once again. Yeah.
I'll take care of
Bye,
you.
and thank you for joining me. Have a great
You
weekend.
too. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.